Good afternoon, students. I am Sukanya, working as social teacher in KGBV Shipurpalli. Students, today we are going to the revision first lesson and fourth lesson, that is India, relief features and climate of India. India relief features. India have 6 major physical divisions, that is Himalayas, Indo-Gangetic Plain, Peninsular Plateau, Coastal Plains, Thar Desert and Islands. These are six physical divisions in our country. These 6 are very important. Definitely we get at least one question each division. So students, we are discussing about the Himalayas. Himalayas is 3 parallel ranges. First one is Himadri, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. Himadri, Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. These are the 3 ranges of Himalayas. Himadri is also known as Greater Himalayas. So, in the examination point of view, in Himalayas, what is the influence of Himalayas in our country? Or how is the Himalayas are helpful for Indian agriculture? So, Himalayas are natural barriers in our country. Without Himalayas, India would have been a tropical desert. Without Himalayas, India would get cold atmosphere in the winter months. In the Himalayas, birthplace so many perennial rivers. So many perennial rivers. What is perennial rivers? Perennial rivers means which rivers flow throughout the year. That type of rivers is called perennial rivers. This type of rivers does not dry up even January to December. So, these are perennial rivers. Example for perennial rivers: Ganga, Indus and Brahmaputra. These are the perennial rivers. This question is chances for 1 mark. Perennial rivers, chances for 1 mark question. The Himalayas are birthplace of so many rivers. These rivers bring a lot of silt making. These plains are very fertile. So that why the Himalayas are responsible for monsoon type of climate, and it's help Indian agriculture to cultivate variety of crops. So this is the Himalayas. And second one is Indo-Gangetic Plain. Indo-Gangetic Plain is divided into 3 parts. First one is western part, and second one is central part, and third one is eastern part. Western part, central part and eastern part. So, Indo-Gangetic Plains are spread over the states Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, a small portion of Haryana and West Bengal and Jharkhand. Indo-Gangetic Plain flows in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, a small portion of Haryana Jharkhand and West Bengal. In this region, the very high population density because the rivers in this region are useful for irrigation because the rivers in this region very helpful to the irrigation. Agriculture is prime occupation in Indo-Gangetic Plain peoples. Number of industries is established due to the availability of the natural resources in Indo-Gangetic Plain. Indo-Gangetic Plain western part forms in Indus River and central part forms in Ganga River and eastern part forms in Brahmaputra River and their tributaries. Once again, the Indo-Gangetic Plain western part forms in Indus and their tributaries. The central part forms in Ganga and their tributaries. The eastern part forms in Brahmaputra and their tributaries. Most of the western part located in Pakistan, a small portion Haryana and Punjab. This is the Indo-Gangetic Plain. So many Indo-Gangetic Plain have so many natural resources and so many irrigation facilities and their rivers are originated. That's why hence the plains have high population of density. So and another one important is Doab. Doab means the fertile land between two rivers. The fertile land between two rivers is called Doab. So, and next one is another important Bhabar and Terai. Bhabar. What is Bhabar? Bhabar. What is Bhabar? The pebble and sedimentary rocks in foothills of Shivaliks is called Bhabar. And Terai. What is Terai? The swampy and marshy soil region is called Terai. So students, in the part of Indo-Gangetic Plain, in these questions, Doab, Bhabar, Terai, how many parts in Indo-Gangetic Plain, and what is why the Indo-Gangetic Plain have high population density. These are the questions coming from the examination point of view. Next, we are going to the Peninsular Plateau. Peninsular Plateau is divided into two types, that is Malwa and Deccan. Malwa Plateau and Deccan Plateau. Malwa Plateau is also known as Central Lands and Deccan Plateau is also Triangular Plateau. So, this is the Peninsular Plateau. This is Malwa and this is Triangular Plateau is Deccan. This is the important another plateau is Chota Nagpur Plateau. This is the most mineral resources plateau in our country, Chota Nagpur Plateau. So, in the examination point of view, the question will be coming from what is the difference between Indo-Gangetic Plain and Peninsular Plateau. So, compared to the Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Peninsular Plateau is very dry. This region rivers are not perennial. This region peoples are depending upon second crops morely in the tanks and tube wells and etc. So this is the Peninsular Plateau. And next one is coastal plains. Coastal plains are two types, that is East Coastal Plain West coastal plain. So the group of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu is East Coastal Plains. Maharashtra and Goa, Karnataka and Kerala is West Coastal Plains. Students, you know each coastal plain have different names in different states. That is Utkal coast in Odisha, Sarkar coast in Andhra Pradesh, Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu. So these are the group of East Coastal Plains. Utkal coast in Odisha, Sarkar coast in Andhra Pradesh and Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu. We are going to West Coastal Plains. This is the Malabar coast. Where the located Malabar coast? Yes, Malabar coast located in Kerala, and this is Canara coast. Canara coast located in Karnataka, and Goa and Mumbai is Konkan coast. So these are the three west coastal plains in our country. So in the examination we get question from coastal plains. What is the difference between East Coastal Plains and West Coastal Plains? Differences and similarities. So East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain. East Coastal Plain is comparatively wider. The West Coastal Plains narrow in width. East Coastal Plains are very fertile because rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri deposits their sediments during the delta formation. That's why the East Coastal Plains are very fertile. West Coastal Plains are less fertile because there is no major rivers. East Coastal Plains are comparatively West Coastal Plain lesser rainfall. West Coastal Plains receives high rainfall. These are East Coastal Plains are agriculturally developed. West Coastal Plains are not agriculturally developed. Chilka in Odisha, Kolleru, Pulicat. Lakes in East Coastal Plains. There is no lakes in West Coastal Plains. These are the differences are East Coastal Plains and West Coastal Plains. Now we are going to the similarities of East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain. East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain, they both are fertile, useful for agriculture and density of population. There are a good number of seaports in East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain, and these are both rich in natural resources. These are the similarities and differences between East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain. Now we are going to the Thar Desert. Thar Desert lies in the rain shadow region of Aravalli. Thar Desert. Thar Desert is rain shadow region of Aravalli. Aravalli Mountains. Leeward side of Aravalli Mountains is located in Thar Desert. So, Luni is one and only river in the Thar Desert. Next one, the biggest canal in India is Indira Canal, is located in Rajasthan. Indira Gandhi Canal, Indira Canal. So, this is the Thar Desert. And last one is islands. Islands are two groups, Andaman Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweeps. Andaman Nicobar Islands. Islands are two groups, Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep. So, islands are two groups. Andaman Nicobar Islands. Andaman Nicobar Islands formed by volcanic origin. The southernmost tip of India is Indira Point. Indira Point located in Andaman Nicobar Islands, and Lakshadweeps are formed in Arabian Sea. Lakshadweeps are origin from coral reefs. Lakshadweep are origin from coral reefs. What is coral reefs? Coral reef means underwater structures made from the calcium and carbonate secreted by the corals is coral reefs. Shortly, the dead organisms in sea is called coral reefs. Lakshadweeps are originated from coral reefs. So, students, these are the relief features in our country. Next, we will go to the lesson, the climate of India. Main topics of climate of India: climate, weather, climograph, factors of climate, global warming, AZW, anthropogenic global warming. So, students, first we are climate. We are going to the climate. What is climate? What is weather? What is weather? Weather means the state of conditions over an area. State of conditions over an area at a particular time. Weather takes particular time. Particular time, particular period. So, it refers to the weather. Weather means the state, conditions over an area at a particular time refers to the weather. So, weather condition are a short period. Weather condition is short period. For example, one day. So, next one is climate. What is climate? Weather conditions. Weather conditions followed a similar general pattern over many years. Many years. Nearly 30 years. Many years, nearly 30 years over a large area. Large area, that is climate. Weather conditions followed a similar general pattern over many years or over a large area is called climate. So, first of all, we know what is the elements of weather and climate. What is the elements of weather and climate? What is that? Yes, temperature, temperature, atmospheric pressure, temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, wind, humidity and precipitation. These are the elements of weather and climate. What is the elements of weather and climate? Temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity and precipitation is the elements of weather and climate. The pattern of these for a place can be shown using pictures called climograph. Shows average monthly values, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, rainfall for a given place, that is called climograph. Students, all of you see this? These are the climographs. These are a few places in India: New Delhi, Leh, Jaipur and Chennai. These are 4 places climographs. This red color indicate mean maximum temperature. Green color indicates mean minimum temperature. These bars are indicated rainfall, mean rainfall. These are the climographs. So, according to the climographs, students, every year we get one question in climographs. In the examination, this type of questions asking for climographs, that is, what is the highest maximum temperature in Leh? For example, what is the highest temperature month in Leh? So, where is the Leh? 4 climographs. Where is the Leh region? This is the Leh region. So, I already told you the red color indicates maximum temperature. So, highest he will ask highest temperature. So, this is the maximum temperature curve. So, this is the highest. So, which month? August, July and August. So, answer is July and August is the highest maximum temperature in Leh. So, students, in the climograph examination point of view, ask these type of questions. So, next we are going to the factors of climate. Influence of climate in 4 factors: latitude, land and water relationship, relief, atmospheric air circulation. These are the 4 factors of climates: latitude, land and water relationship, relief, atmospheric air circulation. So, latitudes. These are the latitudes. 0 degree latitude is equator. 0 degree latitude is equator. Latitude of a place decides the temperature of that particular place. As we move 0 degree latitude we move to the poles. This is North Pole and this is South Pole. North Pole, South Pole. As we move to 0 degree longitude away from the equator towards poles, the average temperature will be decreases. We move the poles, either North Pole or South Pole. We are moving to the equator to the poles, the temperature will be decreases. The southern India. This is the southern India. This is the northern India. The southern India lies close to the equator. The southern India lies near to the equator. So the southern India is tropical zone, and here this is high temperature. And it receives high temperature. The North India lies in temperature belt. Temperature zone. The South India lies in tropical zone. The southern India near to the equator. So that's why the southern India is very hot compared to the North India. So next one factor is land and water relationship. The land and water relationship affects climate in many ways. A large part of South India because of its coastal line comes under to the moderate temperature. As such as difference between the temperature day and night and summer and winter is not much of variation. Day and night, summer and winter, not much variation of temperature. Next one is relief. The temperature decreases. We go to the every 1000 meters, the temperature will be decreases 6.4 degrees. The temperature will be decreased 6.4 degrees. So hill areas are cooler than compared to the places of near the coastal. Hill areas are Ooty, Simla, Ooty, Nainital. These are the relief factors, example of relief factors. Next one is atmospheric air circulation. The climate of India is also affected by the atmospheric air circulation, affected by the movement of air currents, movement of the upper air currents, that is known as jet streams. Upper air currents. Upper air currents is known as jet streams. These are fast flowing air current in a narrow belt in the upper atmospheric above 12,000 meters. 12,000 meters. Upper air currents is called jet streams. These are fast flowing air currents in a narrow belt in the upper atmosphere above 12,000 meters. These are the 4 factors of climate. Warming. Causes for global warming. The main cause for global warming, deforestation. What is deforestation? The number of trees cutting down in the forest, that is called deforestation. The main cause of global warming is deforestation. So, usage of AC, usage of refrigerators, AC by human leads. Human leads. Human leads are causes for global warming. Usage of motor vehicles which run on the fuel emits greenhouses gases. Uses of inorganic fertilizers, chemicals, and these are the also causes for global warming. If we come to the examination point of view, we are getting good weightage in map. In the part of that, we are discussing about map pointing. Approximately, map pointing easily marks from map pointing. Now I am going to explain briefly about the map pointing. We get three types of questions in the map point, in the questions from map drawing, map pointing, and map reading. Map reading gets 8 marks. We get 7 marks in map pointing. We get 8 marks in map reading. We got 7 marks in map pointing. Sometimes we get questions from map drawing also. So, students, we are going to the map pointing. First of all, if you want to locate the place on the map, first you have know the directions. If you know the directions, you can identify the places you can easily. So, now we are going to the briefly discussing about the map pointing and directions. So, we have 4 directions: east, west, north, and south. We have mainly 4 directions and directions: north, south, east, west. These are the 4 main directions. The direction that fall between these main directions are called subdirections. Northeast, northwest, southwest, and southeast. These are 8 directions. 4 directions are main and 4 directions are sub. So, students, we have 4 main directions and 4 sub directions. These are help of 8 directions. We can easily identify the place on the map. So, now we are going to the locate the location of India and IST. This is the northern part of India, southern part of India, eastern part of India, and western part of India. The directions: north direction, south direction, east direction, and west direction. Now we are going to the learn map to the topic wise. First of all, we are going to the location of India, IST. The northmost latitude in degrees, the southmost latitude in degrees, the eastmost longitude in degrees, the westmost longitude in degrees, Indian Standard Meridian, the state where sunrise first, the state where sunrise last, the prime latitude which is passed through India. These are the main places, location of India. So now we are going to the locate this location of India. The northmost latitude in degrees. What is our last? The northmost latitude. So the northmost latitude in degrees. India location. India look 8 degrees 4 inches north latitude to 37 degrees 6 inches north latitude. So this is 37 degrees 6 inches north latitude is the northmost latitude in our country. The southmost latitude in degrees. 8 degrees 4 inches. 8 degrees 4 inches latitude is the southmost latitude in our country. So the eastmost longitude. 97 degrees 25 inches longitude is the eastmost longitude in our country. And next one is 68 degrees 7 inches longitude is the west longitude in our country. Next one is Indian Standard Meridian. What is our Indian Standard Meridian? 82.5 degree east longitude is our Indian Meridian. Due to the time confusion, every country takes standard meridian. Our India takes 82.5 degree east longitude is our Indian Standard Time. 82.5 degrees east longitude is our Indian Standard Time. Next one is the state where sun rises first. The state where sun rises first, Arunachal Pradesh. This is the Arunachal Pradesh. The state where sun rises last, Gujarat. The state where sun rises last, Gujarat. Next one, the prime latitude which is passed through the India, 23.5 degree. 23.5 degree. North longitude is 23.5 north longitude is the prime latitude through the India. So this is the location of India and our IST. Now we are going to the locate boundaries and most points of India. The eastern boundary of India. What is the eastern boundary of India? Yes, Bay of Bengal. This is the eastern boundary of India. The western boundary of India. The western boundary of India is Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea. The northern boundary of India. The northern boundary of India is Himalayas. Students, we are located hills, mountains, or locate this pattern only. Next one, the southern boundary of India. The southern boundary of India is Indian Ocean. Next one, the southmost point of India mainland. The southmost point of India mainland is Kanyakumari. The southmost point of mainland in India, Kanyakumari. And next one is the southmost point of India is Indira Point. And last one is the westmost point of India. The westmost point of India is Rana of Kutch. Rana of Kutch. So, this is the important boundaries and most points of our India. So, now we are going to the another topic. Now, neighboring countries of India. India neighboring countries are Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives. So, first of all, we are going to the locate Pakistan. Pakistan. Here indicate this. This is the Pakistan. Next one is Afghanistan. And next one, China. Next, Nepal. And next, Bhutan. And next one is Myanmar. And next one is Bangladesh. Sri Lanka. The nearest country of India in water. The nearest country of India is water in Sri Lanka. The nearest country of India in water, Sri Lanka. The nearest country to Lakshadweep is Maldives. Maldives. The nearest country of Lakshadweep is Maldives. These are our neighboring countries. We are going to the locate physical divisions of India. Himalayas, Indo-Gangetic Plain, Peninsular Plateau, Coastal Plains, Thar Desert and Islands. These are the physical divisions of in our country. First of all, we locate Himalayas. Himalayas are 3 parallel ranges. These are the Himalayas. And next one is Indo-Gangetic Plain. And next one is Peninsular Plateau. And next one is Coastal Plains. East Coastal Plain, and West Coastal Plain. And next one is Thar Desert. And last one is islands. Andaman Nicobar Island, and Lakshadweep. So these are the major 6 physical divisions in our country. Student, now we are looking at another topic: peaks, mountains and hill stations in our India. First of all, the highest peak in India. What is our highest peak in India? K2. K2 is highest peak in India. Next one, the highest peak in Nilagiri Hills. What is the highest peak in Nilagiri Hills? Dodabetta. Dodabetta is highest peak in Nilagiri Hills. Next one, the highest peak in Western Ghats. First of all, we look at Western Ghats. These are Western Ghats and these are Eastern Ghats. Ghats means a group of hills is called Ghats. Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats. So, the highest peak in Western Ghats is Anaimudi. The highest peak in Eastern Ghats is Aroyakonda. Next one is hill station. Ooty. Ooty is located in Tamil Nadu district. The famous hill station in Tamil Nadu, Ooty. Ooty is called also known as Udagamandalam. Next one is famous hill station Simla. And important hill in Cardamom Hills. Cardamom Hills in Kerala. Kerala ఉన్నాయి Cardamom Hills. So these are the important peaks and mountains and famous hill stations in our country. Next one is coastal plains. Utkal Coast, Sarkar Coast, Coromandel Coast is in East Coastal Plain. And Malabar Coast, Canara Coast, Konkan Coast is in West Coastal Plains. So now we are looking at the coastal plains. Utkal Coast. Where was located Utkal Coast? Yes. Utkal Coast located in Odisha. Utkal Coast located in Odisha. Next one is Sarkar Coast. Sarkar Coast is located in Andhra Pradesh. Sarkar Coast located in Andhra Pradesh. Next one is Coromandel Coast. Coromandel Coast is located in Tamil Nadu. So these are the East Coastal Plains. And we are going to the West Coastal Plains. This is the Malabar Coast. coast. Malabar coast located in Kerala. Next one is Canara coast. Canara coast located in Karnataka, and Goa and Maharashtra is located in Konkan coast. These are west coastal plains. Utkal, Sarkar, Coromandel coast in east coastal plains, and Konkan coast, Canara coast, Malabar coast is west coastal plains. Once again, Utkal coast in Odisha, Sarkar coast in Andhra Pradesh, Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu, Malabar coast in Kerala, Canara coast in Karnataka, and Konkan coast in Maharashtra and Goa. These are our Indian coastal plains. Now we are going to some important rivers in our country. First one is Godavari. This is the Godavari. And second one is Krishna. And third one is Tungabhadra. And fourth one is Chilka. Chilka in Odisha. Chilka Lake in Odisha. Next is Narmada. Narmada. And next one is Tapati. Next one is Ganga River. Next one is Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra river. Next one is Luni. The one and only river in the Thar desert is Luni. These are the important rivers in our country. So, students, next we are going to the plateaus. So, this is the Deccan Plateau. And this is the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Which plateau is rich mineral resources in our country? It is Chota Nagpur Plateau. And which mountains are leeward side of Thar desert, that is Aravalli mountains. Aravalli. So, students, this is the important topics in our India map. These are the main topics of map pointing in the examination point of view. So, please prepare these. You can get easily marks in map pointing. Today we discuss about relief features of India, climate of India, and some of the important topics of map pointing. So, students, please practice this and definitely useful for the examinations. You will get good marks in the 10th class examinations. Now I will give one assignment. What are the What are differences and similarities between East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain? Second question is, what is factors of climate? What are differences and similarities between East Coastal Plain and West Coastal Plain? What is factors of climate? Students, read these questions and write the assignment, and your answer sheets send the school your school WhatsApp groups. Read well. Thank you for giving opportunity.